Hello, 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 everyone. I got a little bonus video today for you. If you've been fired, if you've been laid off, if you're going through a divorce right now, this video is for you. I have been in my lifetime. I have been divorced. Um, I mean, technically, we weren't married, but you couldn't be married because it was with a woman. But essentially, we had everything wrapped together, including a home, including a checking account, all of that stuff, and a child involved. So I've been through a divorce. And I've also been laid off multiple times, and I've been fired. So I know what it's like. And I'm super fired up today because there are several people in kind of my sphere that are going through this right now, that are experiencing this. And I created this video. I'm creating this video right now. I'm live. Hello. For them and for anyone who either has experienced that in your lifetime. You can look back and you can apply the tips that I'm sharing today for it, so that when life does its thing in the future, you can use this same strategy for that as well. And for individuals who know people who are going through being laid off, being fired, or going through a divorce right now, if you're supporting somebody with that, you could get value out of this today too. So I'm going to share with you a couple of tips I have for helping us navigate change that is like a upheaval in our world of divorce, being laid off, getting fired. Hello to whoever's out there with me. Let's give others a chance to jump in with us. For those of you who are here already, I just invite you to do a quick check-in with yourself and scan your body. And as you do, what two words come to mind that best describe what's present for you? Two words to describe what's present for you right now. Share them in the comments below. My name is Lori Mage. I'm a life and leadership coach. It's my goal to help people live and lead their most authentic, most awesome, kick-ass lives. And part of that is having a deep, authentic connection to ourselves. So before we jump into today's content, just check in with yourself while we let a couple other people join us. Two words to describe what's currently present for you. Two words to describe what's currently present for you, and we'll give others just about 20 or 30 seconds to join us. Throw them in the comments below. Don't be shy. Be courageous. What's currently present for you, while we give people a couple more seconds here to join us. All right. We've got some shy folks hanging out. That's okay. So let's jump into today's topic. Life can be hard, man. Fucking sucks, right? Sometimes it really does suck. And today we're going to talk, this video is specific for anyone who's been laid off, been fired, or is going through a divorce. I'm going to give you three S's to help you navigate this transition that you're currently in right now. And the first S is story, And what I want you to think about, if you're currently in a divorce, you've been fired, or you've been laid off, is what story are you telling yourself about this situation? What story are you telling yourself about this situation? Is it an empowering story or a disempowering story? You see, as humans, we are meaning-making machines. Anything and everything that happens in our life, we instantly create a story that goes along with it. Somebody cuts you off in traffic, you've got a story. You're going through a divorce, you've got a story about that, about yourself, about the other people. What story are you telling yourself right now about either being fired, being laid off, or going through a divorce? Is it a story that serves you? Or does it not serve you? Is it a story that empowers you or does not empower you? So what I want you to do with this one is really get crystal clear about the story you're telling yourself and challenge yourself to come up with a story that's more empowering. And one way I like to look at any challenge that happens in my life is to use the hero's journey story, which is a Joseph Campbell concept, which actually isn't just something he created. He actually discovered it by exploring all of these different mythologies around the world with religion and storytelling. And what he identified is that there is these stages that we go through in a hero's journey. And it happened to the Buddha, it happened to Jesus, Harry Potter, it's the same story. And I like to use that same framework for any challenge that I'm going through right now. So if you lost a job recently, whether you were fired or laid off, the hero's journey can be a great framework to help you navigate that change in a more empowering, inspiring way and help you overcome some of your fears too. So one way to learn about this is a really great movie called Finding Joe. And I will post a link in the comments below to that movie where you can access it right now through YouTube for free, for absolutely for free. I don't know how long the producer's going to have it out there like that. It's been like that since COVID. It's been like that actually since his wife died. That was a trigger for him to release this out to the world for free. But it's one of those movies that's worth watching multiple times in your life, and especially when you're facing changes and going through challenges and potentially embarking on an opportunity, an adventure that you're going after. And so it's a great framework to help us capture some of the things that we're going through in an empowering story versus a disempowering story. So I'm going to share a link below to help you with that. So again, this video is for folks going through divorce, getting fired, getting laid off. What's the story you're telling yourself? Is it an empowering one or a disempowering one? Check yourself. Let's get a story that is serving you versus not serving you. The second S in the 3 S's that I'm going to share with you today is strategy. A change is happening. What's your strategy for navigating this particular change? Right? So you've been through stuff before. You've been through hard times before. And when you did go through those hard times, you made it. If you didn't, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. So you somehow went through that challenge, that change, that opportunity, and you made it through. When you look back, what was it that led to your success? What were the things that you had in place that you were doing daily, weekly, monthly? Who were you hanging out with? What stories were you telling yourself about that particular scenario that were working for you, that helped you navigate that change? And what were the things that weren't helpful? You can look back now and take stock on those challenging times and then bring them forward and apply the things that were working, drop the things that weren't, and use that as part of your strategy to navigate this change. You will get through this. It's inevitable. It's part of the human spirit. People get through stuff, laid off, getting fired, going through divorce. And I say that with absolute compassion and conviction. I've been there. You've been through hard things. You can do it, whatever you're going through right now. And so what's going to be your strategy? Now, we also want to take into effect that like whatever you've gone through, it freaking hurts. It's hard. Like it hurts your heart. It hurts your soul. Physically, you might even be experiencing some pain of what you're going through right now. So part of your strategy might be like, you're going to let yourself off the hook for a week. Like you don't have to do anything. If you want to lay in bed for a week and that's your strategy because you're exhausted from just getting freaking sucker punched, go do that. That's okay. You know you best. Just don't stay there, right? Give yourself permission to be like, whew, that was a knockout round. That was a gut punch, you know? Like there's a reason boxing doesn't just go round after round after round after round. There's a moment where they take a break and they get a breather, right? Well, give yourself a breather. Use that as part of your strategy. Whatever you're going through right now, have that be part of your strategy. Give yourself permission to let loose, to eat those bonbons, whatever it may be. Just don't stay there, right? Just don't stay there in victimhood. Just don't stay there and move out of that after a certain amount of time. Another part of your strategy might be considering a counselor, or a therapist, or a coach. That might be part of your strategy too. Those are like, think back to times in your life when you've been successful. Look at other people that have gone through things that you're going through. How have they been able to navigate it? What's been their strategy? So if you've been laid off, if you've been fired, if you're going through a divorce, start with, what's the story you're telling yourself? Is it an empowering story or a disempowering story? I was recently let go. My job was eliminated last year. And the story I told myself, I outgrew my position. I've used that so many times in my life. Literally, I've been laid off 4 times in my life for different reasons, but I outgrew my position. What's new? What's next? There was other stories in there too, but the hero's journey from Joseph Campbell helped me create a story that was empowering to help me continue to move forward. And then my strategy. I'll share more about that towards the end. So there's a third S I promised you today. And this is probably the most important out of all the S's to work on. When you're going through a change that is significant, like divorce, like layoff, like getting fired, it's your state. And what do I mean by state? I'm talking about your mental state. I'm talking about your emotional state. I'm talking about your physical state, right? How's your state? And state, the reason I say it's the most important is because if you feel like crap, if you haven't been sleeping, if you're constantly hungover, if you're eating food that causes your gut to constantly be in overdrive and then not allowing you to rest and recover the way you need to, it's going to impact your story. Like when I don't get enough sleep at night, if I only get 4 hours of sleep versus 7 or 8 hours of sleep, I am way less confident in my ability. And that impacts my story. My state impacts my story. If I feel like crap, I've got a crappy story. Whenever I like facilitate groups or lead workshops or do public speaking or anything like that, if I'm tired afterwards, I am so self-critical. Do you ever get that way? That when you're tired, that's when you're most critical with yourself and even with others? It's going to impact the story you tell yourself, whether you're well resourced or not. So state is about resourcing yourself. It's about sleeping. It's about moving. It's about eating. It's about eating nutritious foods. It's about meditating. It's about who you're hanging out with. Is there positivity? It's about the music you're putting in your brain even. Are you listening to sad, sappy stories all the time? Or are you throwing in some of that mix of some uplifting of, I can handle this kind of music? That's going to impact your state of mind, your state of body, your state emotionally. And so we want to be thinking about optimizing our state, because your state is not only going to impact your story that you're telling yourself. Is if you feel lousy, you're going to have a lousy story, but it's also going to impact your strategy. It's also going to impact your strategy. So, for example, the worst time to strategize in a marriage, like let's say you're having a disagreement with your loved one, with your partner that you're with, the worst time to strategize about how we're going to move forward is at the end of the day when you're both tired and you've just had a rough night with the kids and your state is off. That is when people are going to say, we should get divorced, we shouldn't be together, blah, 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 is when you're freaking tired. When you're hungry, when you're tired, when you're irritable, you're going to have a terrible strategy to navigate that difficult time. And you're going to have a terrible story. That's probably when you're going to think everybody's cheating on you, when everybody's against you, is when you're tired, when you're feeling less than optimal, right? So we want to work on our state. Eating, moving, sleeping, getting out in nature, skipping. Skipping is one of my favorite things to do, because just try to skip without smiling. Like try to skip down the hallway at work, out in the neighborhood, wherever you live, in front of people, by yourself, skip and try to be angry. You just can't do it. That's what's cool about the mind-body connection, is that your body, how you move your body, is going to impact your state. It's going to impact the emotions that you're experiencing right now. And Amy Cuddy did tons of work on this in her TED Talk about presence, the book that she wrote, Presence. That's what Amy Cuddy's talking about, is that if you want to feel confident and powerful, get big. You may have saw this with Ted Lasso. Some of you guys know I'm a huge fan of Ted Lasso. There was a moment that the ladies were trying to help gosh dang it, I can't think of all their names, but the coach on the team and the owner of it, Claire, or what's her name? The owner of the team. She showed them her power pose, and she got huge, and she was like arms up, and she was like rawr, you know. But that stuff works. It sounds silly, but the cool thing about state is that there's absolutely a mind-body connection. Is that if you, for example, when you feel happy, you smile, right? And the reverse happens too. If you don't feel happy, you can actually smile and you'll start to feel happy in time. And if you're feeling depressed and sad, more than likely your body's kind of down like this. And so if you want to feel depressed and sad, go ahead and put your body down like this. You're going to feel small, depressed, and not full of confidence. But when you win a race or you win an event, what happens? You get big, you get proud, your arms go up in the V victory pose. That's part of your state. And the cool thing again is that it's bi-directional. It works both ways. So if you want to feel powerful and you're currently feeling depressed, get big, get expansive, take up space. You're going to start to change your state. And when you start to feel more confident, you're going to have a better story. When you start to feel more confident, you're going to have a better strategy. Your state is the most important thing in this scenario because it's going to impact your story and it's going to impact your strategy. So, are the things that you're doing on a daily basis positively impacting your state? Are you prioritizing your sleep, your health? That should be the first thing that you start thinking about if you're going through a divorce, if you're going through getting laid off, if you've been fired recently, is optimizing your state and building some habits around that. So, is this story serving me or not? Is this strategy serving me or not? Is this thing I'm about ready to do right now going to help me optimize my state, my mental state, my emotional state, my physical state? If not, maybe try something else. And also, give yourself some grace. If you're going through a divorce, if you're getting fired, or if you just got fired, or you got laid off, if you need a day or two or a week in bed, let yourself have that. You just got sucker punched. Like, it's okay to not be okay for a little bit. And then pick yourself up. Get yourself back into that leadership role. Allow yourself to have that break and then start to tell yourself a better story, get a better strategy, and then optimize that state so you can feel better about who you are right now. You are, as William Ernest Henley says in the poem Invictus, you are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. Whatever you're going through, I know you can get through it. You've been through hardship before. You can handle this. There's no doubt in my mind. For those of you that are still here, would love to hear what landed with you. What do you think about this idea of story, strategy, and state? Do you think it could help you with your challenges that you're facing right now? When you think about anything that you might be going through. Today we talked specifically about how it's impacting how these three things can help us when we're navigating a job loss, whether we got fired or we're going through a divorce or not. Story, strategy, and state. These three S's also, just for some of you who might be Tony Robbins fans, that's his three S's to a breakthrough. And I just applied them to what we're doing here. Tony Robbins, he might be a little woo-woo to some of you, but his stuff works. There's a reason people go to those events. His stuff works. So story, strategy, and state. I hope you guys got some value today. If you did, drop a comment below. Give me a heart. Give me a thumbs up. Share this with someone you think it might help in their situation that they're in right now. I truly, truly want to help people live and lead their most authentic, most awesome, kick-ass lives. I've been doing this work for over 20 years. I've got some tools. I've got some tips that might be useful for you. It's my hope that these help you today. That's it for now. I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday. Have a great weekend. This was just a bonus video. Much love. I'll see you guys later.